1969, Martyr Abdelmenem Riyad was the chief of staff of the armed forces back then and decided to go to the battlefield in Sinai in Ismailia Governorate on the west bank of the canal. And our armed forces had clashes with the occupying forces, and he became a martyr, and he has given the best example in history. And afterwards, a lot of martyrs from this country gave the same example. Every year, Egypt celebrates this great day on which we remember all the Egyptian martyrs, even if we do not know all their names. President Sisi has arrived to start the ceremony.
في لمة عيلة مبسوطة وتلفزيون وفيلم جميل، قطع فجأة وقام ظاهر شريط أحمر وفيه تفاصيل. في لمة عيلة مبسوطة وتلفزيون وفيلم جميل، قطع فجأة وقام ظاهر شريط أحمر وفيه تفاصيل. بيان مرصوص وبدأ الخوف شعور محبوس، كأن الأم كانت حاسة خلاص دي نهاية القصة، وتدعي يا رب يبقى كابوس. لا بقى عاجل فدانا بروحه كم راجل، بندعي لهم بقوا شهداء، وخوف بيزلزل الأعداء وهو بيعلن الأسماء. صدمة وقف الكون ثواني لما قال اسم الولد، الشهيد فلان الفلاني مات عشان يحمي البلد. صدمة وقف الكون ثواني لما قال اسم الولد، الشهيد فلان الفلاني مات عشان يحمي البلد. فجأة السر بيت سواد واتقلب فرحه الحداد، هو ده الحضن الأخير، هو ده آخر معاد. من ساعتها البيت غريب، ناقصه روح ناقصه الحبيب.
مرة أخرى مشاهدينا نحييكم من هذه القاعة.
إني ناس مخلصين ووعدون واحلفوا لهم 100 يمين، هم رهنوا إن إحنا نقدر نبني مصر ونعلى أفضل، كلنا هنعيش نعمر أرضنا طول السنين.
السيد الرئيس عبد الفتاح السيسي رئيس
President Abdel Fattah Sisi, the President of the Republic and the highest commander of the armed forces.
السلام عليكم.
Peace be upon you. Many happy returns. In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate, Your Excellency President Abdel Fattah Sisi, the President of the Republic and the highest commander of the armed forces. Ladies and gentlemen, for every nation, it has a page of national history that inscribes the history of this country and the pains it suffered for its independence and freedom. This page is the first thing that is written by every nation. It has memories for the struggle of the past and lessons for the efforts of the present and lessons learned for the future. And it shows the share of the successive generations in performing the national responsibility. This is the gift of the grandfathers and fathers for the generations, so that the work would go on through successive generations. This is the 37th cultural seminar held by the armed forces celebrating the Martyrs' Day that coincides with the martyrdom of Chief of Staff Abdelmenam Riyad from the armed forces on the 9th of March 1969. Through his martyrdom, he proved that defending countries is a sacred responsibility where there are no differences between different levels. This seminar is under the title The Price, and the best thing to start with is verses from the Holy Quran with reciter Ahmed Tamim al-Maraghi.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ولا تحسبن الذين قتلوا في سبيل الله أمواتاً بل أحياء عند ربهم يرزقون فرحين بما آتاهم الله من فضله ويستبشرون بالذين لم يلحقوا بهم من خلفهم ألا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون يستبشرون بنعمة من الله وفضل وأن الله لا يضيع أجر المؤمنين صدق الله العظيم.
قطرات الندى تتساقط على الأشجار فتسر الناظرين وقطرات العرق تتسابق لتغيير الواقع
also are accelerating to change the presence and build a life.
وقطرات الدم تنهمر من جباههم
Drops of blood fall as a price and a title to survival. Drops of cries and tears fill our eyes and hearts, not in sorrow for those who sacrificed themselves and died, but in pain for those who did not build on the sacrifices of the martyrs. Every drop has a price in the path of development and construction. You, the Egyptians, there was a very big price paid so that we would all live. The least price we can pay is to protect what they sacrificed themselves for, our young people of Egypt. The anthem of the martyr.
كتفا سلاح.
دخلت دار.
I came into a house and another house.
أنا اللي حي وشهيد.
I am alive and dead in paradise. Allah is the greatest, as if the sun takes from our brightness. In Sinai, on the land of Sinai, under the sun, I and the sand won the battle for each other. And I was fasting. I controlled sky and earth, and I was thirsty, and I was able to drink. The spirit of the martyr left him to live in the hearts of millions, and he has a message. This message is that I paid my life for my country, and we tell him that we are going to protect this country. We'll keep the pledge and put your families and your sons in our eyes. And to all our martyrs who sacrificed themselves for the homeland, you have a position in all our hearts, and you will always be eternal symbols. History has witnessed their glory and wrote the presence, their patience. They were able to protect their land, and the price was their blood. Celebrating the Martyrs' Day, on this anniversary of martyrdom of Chief of Staff Abdel Menaim Riyad, amidst his soldiers and officers in the battlefield, who is a role model for all the martyrs of this country. A generation after the other will always remember their photos and names. These are the ones of sacrifice, a memory that stands up to history. He joined the 999 forces. I told him, what does this mean? He said that this means combat clashes by hands. I told him, he who wants to meet God should only believe in God and do a good act. So I remembered this term, the good act, when Ahmed Mansi became a martyr. He said, this is Ahmed Mansi, and he said that I will follow him. We received a phone call, and this phone call changed a lot of him. I told him, Asim, are you part of this battle? He said yes. He was honored to meet Asim, and he shook hands with me, and he told that I am Captain Asim, I'm from Brigade 103. I told him that of Mansi and Rami Hassanin. He said, pray for me so that we will be martyrs exactly like them. He used to say that the blood of anyone in his brigade is in my neck, so I should be first and they would come afterwards. You would see how modest he is and how kind he is, to the extent that you would ask how he would carry an arm. And they told me that he is like a lion when he gets into the battlefield and he stands before them. Once he asked me, victory or martyrdom? So I told him martyrdom, of course. So he asked me to pray for him because he said that I will be a martyr with the flag and my uniform, and that's why his uniform was kept with him, the bullet inside his body and his uniform with him. And thanks be to Allah, he first was able to kill those who shot him before he dies, and then he died. May Allah accept him as a martyr. His sons would be the better successors. I once asked them, do you know what is the meaning of a martyr? They said, what? I told him to fight people who came to attack this country. Your father was doing exactly that. On the martyrdom day, his friend told me I found him smiling in the morning, smiling. I told him, are you going on a vacation? We won't see you again. Because then after the end of the vacation you won't be back here, you will go to a different place. I told him, no, I'm not on a vacation. And he smiled and left him. I and Martyr Amin were arresting a number of terrorists in Jabal al-Mamar. And after the detention of them, I felt that there was a person who was trying to shoot at us, and Amir moved with his group. And after this, Amir was late. I felt worried about him, so I went to see where he is. I found that he was behind a wall and he had already died. And we found a hole in which a person was hiding, and you can see nothing except his gun, and we killed him and took his gun. And when we were taking the corpse of the martyr, we were shot at and we killed them, and we did not leave our martyrs. He died on the 2nd of July after he was promoted to be a major. During the last vacation, he told me, I want to do something for this country. I told him, you are saying strange things. Go and talk to your friends instead. He told me, do you want to be the mother of the hero or the martyr? He used to say things that I did not understand except afterwards. In 2017, there was an attack from terrorists in Karam al-Awadis sector, and fighter Bishoy Shohja Abdel Masih was the first personnel to announce in the ambush that the terrorists are attacking us, and he started saying, guards, be ready with your guns, and he was knowing that he will be a martyr. He started using his RPG and he shot the armored vehicles of the terrorists, and he was able to shoot at one of them that carried ammunition and personnel. He killed 5, and he was getting back. He was shot in his chest. So he fell down and he kept shooting at the terrorist who shot at him. Afterwards, Ahmed Abdel Mohsen came to us with his brigade, and he started talking to the martyrs, telling them, go and see what was done. He was carried to hospital and he died the next morning. I haven't seen him. The first injury Ahmed then was the head of Karam al-Awadis department. He came to Al Hilmiya hospital, and when I saw him getting safe out of the ambulance car, I bowed to Allah. And then my mother told him, enough with the North Sinai. But the other soldiers and officers asked him, when are you going back to the ambush? They started saying 7 days and 10 days. So he said, Sinai still needs us. These are men I am a man like them. And he gave me the mask he brought from the Medina with him. And he told me that this is the mask that they will use when I become a martyr. I brought it from the city of Prophet Muhammad. And I told him not to say that. Then I received a phone call. They told me, are you the wife of Ahmed al-Muhsin? I said proudly, yes. So he was silent. I asked him, why are you silent? Was Ahmed injured? He said, no. He became a martyr. So I said, may God reward me for this calamity. After I received the news, I was not able to understand that this is the case. I thought I would be stronger. It seems that I derived all my strength from him. One day he showed me the photo of his friend and he told me, mother, this went on Hajj and afterwards he became a martyr. I want to be a martyr too. And when he was getting back on the last time, he said that I know that this would be the last time for me to meet you. And you need to remember this. Please do not cry. I'm going to paradise. So I did not feel fearful and I did not tell him not to go. Oh, he did something that makes me proud. He made something that honors me because Egypt deserves more. Egypt deserves everything good. And Egypt should enjoy peace and safety. My son is in paradise, and may your son be a hero like you. All our sons are for the army. Before Mahmoud becomes a martyr, I found his shoes on the door and I found him praying dawn with his uniform on. I felt that this would be the last time I will see him. And he said that all those martyrs sacrificed themselves for our country, and every bullet, every martyr he took it instead of us. So it is not us who select, it is the martyr who is honest and devoted. So when he was describing the martyr, he was describing himself, and then he took his bag and recited the verse from Holy Quran, nothing would happen to us except what Allah wrote for us. And then he sent me a message saying, I'm proud of the children and may God help them, and I see them always good people, and I have always remembered that. I'm proud of Maria and all her brothers, and may they always be good people and help them. His father received a phone call saying that he died. I prayed for him and said that I am reassured and he is a martyr. I'm so proud that you are my son. Between the pain of losing the person and the feeling of pride after satisfaction with what God wrote, the martyr lives in the hearts of people. He is the source of my pride, and it is the source of pride for his family and his country. He is my role model, and I try to be exactly like him. When my sons ask me where is father, I told them he is a hero. My father is a hero and I love him. I will never forget him. All my sons would sacrifice themselves for Egypt. What the families, the father, the mother, and the wife who has given their sons and husbands, every word they say is a good word. They are ready to do more. And the father would tell me, I'm ready to sacrifice myself too. So deep appreciation and respect to the families of each martyr. Peace and respect to you, the sacrifice of this country, you who shed your noble blood to plant flowers on this land.
هي البلد دي ولادها ليه مش هيبة موت، ما بيركعوش ولا متيحوش ولا خفيفين، لا بتنحني ولا ينكسر يوم ليها عود، اللي بيتولد في اليوم لها مليون شهيد. سرك في ياخدوا بالشمال، فتقدم التاني برضاها باليمين. سر الجنود عند الحدود واقفين جبال، قبل النداء يا بلادي بتقولك امين. مد الخطى يا بلادي مرفعة الجبين، محبة في أرضنا.